behind my head. Oh, that's so beautiful. Check it out. That is so pretty. Okay, so we have, oh, there's a new leaf coming out. It's like ready to go as well. Right there is the new leaf, and it's just like super ready. It's about to pop. So that's a beautiful specimen. Love this so much. I love the Melanochrysum. This Melanochrysum was very, very beautiful, but it did not make it, sadly. I was actually going to use it in a giveaway, so I was like super bummed about that, and I had talked about it as well, but in the process of getting it acclimated, it just didn't make it. When you import plants, you kind of have to assume that some of them aren't going to make it, which is kind of sad, but it's part of the risk of getting them, usually for a cheaper price. Now, I haven't really looked into importing lately, but I have a feeling it's not as cheap as it used to be. So I don't know if I will ever import again. I might if I find a good place and it feels worth it to me. I'm not gonna rule it out, but also it just feels like it's a lot more convenient most of the time to just buy them from somebody else who's already done the work to acclimate them. I don't know, maybe if I have more space someday, I will do it and try it and do another one of those importing videos. But anyway, that one didn't make it. Let's move on. Oh, okay, this is a Billy Tie. It looks okay. This leaf looks like it did not fare well in shipping. The other leaf looks like it did better. I don't see any new growth, but there might be new growth underneath all of this. But again, you know, this is super normal and I'm not super concerned about it. I feel like this leaf will hang on for a long time, like long enough for it to sustain another leaf. And it might be a part of the one leaf club for a while. But we will see. It just depends on how well it acclimates. Okay, this Billietiae is one of the plants that I gifted to Adam, and like I was not expecting that plant to do very well because it had that like mottling on the leaf. Like the leaf was like yellowing in like a really weird way that I'd never seen before, and actually those leaves hung on the plant for a very long time. Adam put some photos up on his Instagram, so I'll have those on the screen so you can see what it looks like now. I know for sure he's updated about that one, but yeah, I mean, it is just such a beautiful plant. It turned out super, super well, and recently I got a piece of it, which I'm so excited about. When I first ordered these plants, like I talked to Adam if he wanted some of them because I didn't need all of the plants that Green Spaces was going to send me. The Billietiae was a plant that I had literally never thought about before. I didn't even really know about it. And then when I saw it in person, I wasn't very impressed, so I was kind of glad that I didn't get that. And then it started growing and growing and growing, and then I was like, dang it, I really messed up. I really messed up giving that one to Adam. I'm joking, but yeah, it turned out to be a really beautiful plant, and now I have a piece of it and I'm super excited. I recently potted it up in soil. I showed that in a previous repotting / chores video. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it up in the cards. We're going to take a brief moment to talk about our sponsor today, which is Storyworth. So it is the holiday season and we are into gift giving, and I have always been a very sentimental gift giver, but sometimes I just don't know what to do. So that's where Storyworth comes in. Storyworth is an online service that helps you and your loved ones preserve precious stories and memories from your family for years to come. Every week, Storyworth will email your loved one of choice a prompt, and they will get to answer the question and even insert photos if they would like. And for example, some of the questions are, what is the bravest thing you've ever done? Or if you could see into the future, what would you like to see? So after all the questions have been answered, Storyworth will combine all of them into a beautiful book like this. It's one of those books where the cover is really soft. I find that to be just so pleasing. Definitely cherry on top to all of this. And this is a hardcover, by the way, so that's really nice. It's a little bit more durable. And you can order as many copies as you want. So if you want to send them to multiple people, maybe you do this with grandma and you want to send it to all of your cousins and aunts and uncles or whoever else, it ships free and quickly. So this is a photo of my mom, if anybody was wondering, but I'm also really excited to do this with, for example, my grandparents, because they always have so many fun stories. And I find knowing your family history and just like knowing even your family's stories is such an important part of understanding you and your identity and just where you fit in all of this.
I just think it's really cool to combine all of these things and sort of make your own book of your family history. So because of Storyworth, I'm able to give a thoughtful gift from the heart that preserves memories for years to come. And if you would like to check out Storyworth, you can head over to storyworth.com/plants and save $10 on your purchase. I will have all the information linked down below. And again, thank you so much to Storyworth for sponsoring this video.
This is an Anthurium forgetii, which is a huge wish list plant for me. So it doesn't look amazing, but there is definitely potential for it to be okay. We have another leaf coming in, and it just looks like these two are just not so great, and then the rest of them look really nice.
Okay, that forgetii was so tiny, and it just wasn't super healthy when I got it. It did have some yellow leaves, which again is very normal. And at that point in my life, I don't think that I really understood that Anthurium could be grown back from a stump. I mean, maybe I did, but I just didn't find it worth it because I had a lot of other plants that I was acclimating at the time. But basically what happened is it just slowly dwindled away and then it eventually died. So not that exciting, but it's just one of the casualties of importing.
I know what it is. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Beauty. This is an Anthurium magnificum. And this looks absolutely perfect. Look at that. And you know what's really cool about it? If you can see, the leaf edges have like a red color. That is really nice. That's a beautiful plant. So it has 2 leaves. Obviously a very chunky root system. I'm impressed.
Okay, this Anthurium magnificum is what it was sold to me as. A bunch of people while I had it told me that they thought it was like a Crystallinum magnificum or some other Anthurium. And honestly, I feel like Anthurium is one of those types of plants that I think is so easy to misidentify. And reason being, you know, the Anthurium leaves, just plants in general actually, can look different plant to plant even though they are the same type. And you know, certain crystallinums look different from each other even though they're both crystallinum. It's just something that happens, and I feel like it's super common with Anthurium. I feel like it's not as common with plants like Monstera deliciosa because like pretty much all of them look the same. So I don't know, I just notice a lot of the time people getting a plant that's an Anthurium and thinking that it's one thing, and then other people being like, no, I think it's this. And I don't know, I just see it really often, and even if the seller is selling it as something, the buyer might think it's something else. I don't know, I see it quite often. So point is, the plant is no longer with me, which I'm very sad about. And I did, at the time that it died while I was living in this house. So it made the move, and it was a 1-leaf wonder for a very long time. And then eventually that leaf started going out and there wasn't a new one to replace it. I did have it in a greenhouse the entire time I had it, besides the move. And I think the move was just really hard on it, and it just eventually was like, I'm done, peace out. I did cut it down to a stump once I noticed that the leaf was like browning and everything, and it just didn't come back from the stump. So I think that it just was unhappy. I don't know, these things happen, unfortunately. I mean, I wish that I still had it because that plant was really beautiful, but it just didn't make it.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, that's so pretty. Okay, so this is a Philodendron Melanochrysum cross verrucosum, which was my #1 wish list plant. And oh my gosh, and the back of these leaves, it has the verrucosum trait with the red color, and we have a new leaf coming in. This is so pretty. This is literally so beautiful.
Okay, so this is what it looks like now, which kind of funny, honestly. It is turning out to be kind of a hanging plant, and I don't really like that. But this whole like downturn started happening right when I was about to leave for Hawaii. So you can see this is actually like more so what it looks like. And I had it in the greenhouse cabinet for a very long time, and it loved it in there. It literally like exploded with growth, and the growth was starting to get big again. The thing with this plant is the growth started getting smaller, and I think that's the Melanochrysum in it. Like, Melanochrysum is just one of those plants that I just really don't like. I just have had so many issues with them all the time. They're so hard to get the big leaves, and even harder to maintain the big leaves, in my experience at least. Like, amazing if you had a different experience. For me, it was not good. So the leaves are starting to look a little bit more melanochrysum, and I would love for them to look more varicosum. When the plant was younger, like when I first got it, it had a very strong like varicosum look, which I love the varicosum. I'm actually considering getting another one, maybe seeing if this time it'll be a little bit different, because the one that I had, it just got spider mites all the time. And actually it probably won't be any different, but maybe I